Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In the ongoing DoorDash versus Uber Eats saga. So if you don't know, I'm gonna get you caught up real quick. DoorDash basically sued Uber Eats. Nope, scratch that. Uber Eats sued DoorDash over bad business practices. Basically, they were trying to say that DoorDash was capitalizing on the market share by, doing some dirty business practices, making it not fair for Uber Eats. And in this recent update, DoorDash basically saying, listen, if you can't innovate, litigate. They basically throwing shots at Uber Eats saying, if you can't keep up, sue. If you can't fight fairly on an even playing field as far as being competitors in the food delivery game, they say, hey, just go ahead and sue them into submission. But DoorDash is calling for a California judge to basically dismiss this lawsuit. And we're going to dive a little bit more into it. Basically, DoorDash is like, listen, if y'all want to sit up here and try to sue us because y'all can't beat us, right? We're going to ask the judge to dismiss us because this is basically a frivolous lawsuit. I'm going to quickly go over this article from the DoorDash newsroom. I'm not going to read it for verbatim, but we're going to touch on some key points. Starting off with DoorDash asking the California Superior Court judge to dismiss the lawsuit from Uber in its entirety. Our motion demonstrates that Uber's grab bag of claims are without merit. This is coming from DoorDash, straight from the website. Now, Uber's lawsuit is a cynical and calculated scare tactic that should be dismissed. They go on to say this lawsuit isn't about promoting competition. It's about Uber avoiding it. They avoiding competition. They don't want to have to battle against DoorDash fairly. It's about, instead of competing through innovation, Uber is using litigation. They're resorting to having the courts fight the battle for them. And DoorDash say, you know what, that just ain't right. Merchants have chose who they want to work with, and they chose DoorDash because it works for them and they customers. This is what DoorDash is saying. The reason this lawsuit should be dismissed. Now today, DoorDash asked the California Superior Court, to dismiss the lawsuit from Uber in its entirety. Make no mistake, the lawsuit is nothing more than a cynical and calculated scare tactic from a frustrated competitor seeking to avoid real competition. It's a disappointing behavior from a company once known for competing on its merits of its products and innovation. DoorDash continues on to say, DoorDash competes fiercely yet fairly to deliver exceptional value to its merchants. In 2016, we took a bold risk others wouldn't, creating Drive on Demand to empower merchants on first-party ordering channels. They coming out swinging. They is not playing. We have continually invested in improving our platform and innovating to deliver, new value to the merchant. The fact is that merchants have a choice of who they want to work with, and they choose DoorDash because it works for them and it helps them deliver a better guest experience. At its core, the lawsuit isn't about promoting competition. It's about Uber trying to avoid it. Instead of competing through innovation, Uber resorts to litigation. Uber is trying to deter merchants from working with us and use legal threats to win business it has not earned. They go on to say, Uber's two-faced approach is striking. To investors and media, they boast of their scope and size. To the court, they suddenly play victim that needs protections. Uber cannot have it both ways. We will vigorously defend ourselves against the Uber's meritless lawsuit while continuing to focus on what matters most, helping merchants grow and serve customers in an increasingly competitive landscape. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are in the comments below on this ongoing litigation between DoorDash and Uber Eats. If you ask me, I say Uber Eats is just crying foul because they can't keep up with DoorDash's continual growth and they expansion, not only in this country, but around the world. Uber is just not able to keep up. Uber is a ride share company first, and Uber Eats is a subsidy of the Uber company. So Uber is focused on picking up people and dropping off people. And yes, they have food delivery, Uber Eats. They have pet delivery. They have package pickup. But I'm pretty sure most of the investors is worried about what's going on with the ride share. So DoorDash it's all about food delivery first, and then they dabble into grocery delivery, some package delivery, but they main focus is food delivery. So it's not surprising that DoorDash is able to capitalize on the market, and Uber Eats is starting to feel the impact of it. Now, it's also not surprising that Uber decided to just go to litigation or the legal route as far as trying to squash the competition. But it clearly shows that DoorDash is putting the money in the marketing, they putting the money in the merchant relations, and that's why they win in this overall battle. So in my opinion, I don't know if the judge is going to dismiss this lawsuit, but I feel like it should be dismissed because Uber, you know you ain't in the right on this. You basically just trying to get a court to make DoorDash pay out some money because you losing money because of DoorDash. Now I get it, it sucks. You know, business may be down and you got to do something. But at the end of the day, this is not a good use of the court system, I don't believe. If you're going to sue your competitor, let's not throw around frivolous lawsuits just because you can't keep up with business. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. You know, I could be wrong. I'm just a guy who pick up hamburgers and hot dogs and groceries. What the heck do I know? Let me know what your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. I'm about to pick up this $50 Walmart Spark order.